Euphorbia Piscidermis is a highly specialized dwarf succulent that is endemic to a small region in Ethiopia. It is a geophytic plant, meaning it spends part of its life cycle underground, usually to avoid harsh environmental conditions. The plant typically has a low-growing, almost entirely subterranean body. Above ground, it produces a very small, gray-green, warty or scaly surface that resembles fish scales, hence the name Piscidermis, meaning fish skin. It has a thick, tuberous rootstock, and the visible part above the soil consists of compact branches or stems, which stay mostly underground except for the tip. The stem structure is globular or dome-shaped. The fish scale appearance of Euphorbia Piscidermis is an adaptation to its arid native habitat. The scaly or rough texture likely helps the plant reduce water loss by limiting surface area exposed to the dry air. Its deep, tuberous root stores water, allowing it to survive in environments with infrequent rainfall. Euphorbia Piscidermis is native to a very specific, arid region of Ethiopia, where it grows in rocky, well-draining soils. It is typically found at high altitudes in the mountains, in dry, rocky, and exposed locations where it benefits from bright sunlight and has minimal competition from other vegetation. Like many euphorbias, this plant prefers well-draining, gritty, or sandy soil. It thrives in full sunlight, but requires minimal water, as it is highly drought-tolerant. Euphorbia Piscidermis, like other members of the Euphorbia genus, produces small, unassuming flowers known as cyathea. These flowers are generally pale yellow or greenish and are not particularly showy. It tends to flower in the warmer months, often in response to slight increases in humidity or rain. The plant produces seeds after flowering, which are dispersed by the wind or animals. Euphorbia Piscidermis is quite rare in cultivation due to its slow growth and specific environmental needs. It requires well-draining soil, full sun, and infrequent watering. Care must be taken to avoid overwatering, as the plant is highly susceptible to root rot. As a plant from a hot, dry climate, it cannot tolerate frost and should be kept above 5 degrees Celsius, 41 degrees Fahrenheit. It thrives in dry conditions, but should be shielded from extreme heat. Propagation is primarily through seed, though this can be a challenging process due to the plant's rarity and slow growth. It is often seen grafted, as it can be a challenging plant to grow well on its own roots. Euphorbia Piscidermis is considered rare and faces threats from habitat loss due to overgrazing and land development in its native range. Because of its small distribution, any changes to its environment could significantly impact its survival. Collectors prize the species due to its rarity, but overharvesting from the wild could further threaten its natural populations. Like other Euphorbia species, Euphorbia Piscidermis contains a milky latex sap that is toxic if ingested or if it comes into contact with skin or eyes. The sap is a common defense mechanism against herbivores, but it can cause irritation, dermatitis, or even more severe reactions in sensitive individuals. Great care must be taken to avoid getting any sap in the eyes, as this can lead to permanent damage or, in severe cases, complete blindness. Euphorbia Piscidermis is a fascinating example of a highly specialized succulent adapted to survive in a tough, arid environment. Its unusual appearance, combined with its rarity, makes it a prized specimen among collectors. However, its cultivation requires careful attention to its native growing conditions, particularly its need for well-draining soil and very little water. In the wild, its survival depends on the conservation of its fragile Ethiopian habitat.